This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
A Metro police officer facing heat for the way he handled a student outside of an Indianapolis school. Now at 6 o'clock, we're looking at the official list of criminal charges filed against him.
Plus, thousands of workers at General Motors plants here in Indiana and all across the country remain off the job. This morning, we're breaking down the latest on contract negotiations in a live report.
And we continue to highlight programs getting Hoosier students ready for the workforce. This morning, we're taking a look at how one school is teaching students about supply chain management. It is 6 o'clock here on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is here with us this morning, and he has pretty much the easiest job this week. More of the same in the weather department.
We're walking on sunshine.
Yeah, we are. You know, not only today, but tomorrow. And
the
as we get to Thursday, as we get to Friday, as we get to Saturday. Yeah, the one little minor issue that we have this morning, and it was the same yesterday, it's just a little bit of patchy fog that is out there. When you look at the numbers here, the visibilities, they're not that bad. I always say once you get below 1 mile, that's when you start to run into some issues. But all these numbers come from the airport readings. And so there are some reduced visibilities in between these airport readings where you see the gray. Again, it's not super dense, but just be aware of that. And as you look from downtown to the north, you can kind of see a little bit of that fog trying to settle into downtown Indianapolis as well. So just be aware that it's out there. Otherwise, temperatures this morning are currently in the 60s across the area with skies that are mainly clear. Any fog that is out there, as soon as the sun comes up right around 7:30, we will burn that off very, very quickly. And then to the north, there's just a little more in the way of cloud cover, but that too will give way to mostly sunny skies here throughout the morning hours. We'll go from the 60s where we are right now to right around 80 degrees by the noon hour, and then continuing to warm as we push to the afternoon with highs that eventually climb into the upper 80s. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on your commute this morning. And here's a look over on the northwest side, I-465 and West 46th Street. Traffic here is moving along smoothly, northbound and southbound. No crashes to slow you down. And take a look at our Traffic Now map. Everything's moving along up to speed. We do have this closure to remind you about, and we want to remind you it's scheduled to reopen on Saturday. So we're almost there. Southbound, westbound I-465 closed between I-70 on the east side, I-65 on the south side. You can take a detour through downtown for your commute this morning, and we'll keep you updated.
Employees at General Motors facilities across the country still on strike this morning. Leaders of the United Auto Workers Union announced Sunday they were unable to reach a new labor agreement with the company. The strike impacts thousands of Hoosiers who work at plants in Indiana. Our Alyssa Donovan is live outside of the GM plant in Kokomo this morning. Alyssa, I hear those workers behind you. What are they saying as we head into day 2 of this strike?
So, you know, they are concerned, of course, about the strike that's going on right now. They want a few things, but the main thing is they just want a fair deal with their company, GM. And here at the Kokomo plant, there's about 300 workers. In Indiana, there are about 7,000 people who work for GM. I'm here with Scott this morning. He's with the union. Scott, I'm going to ask you some of those questions again. Tell me, what do you guys want?
We just want a fair deal, you know. We want to get fair wage, fair benefits package. We want to keep jobs in America, keep our local economy strong. And we just want a future for the United States, let alone Kokomo, Indiana. We've got to stop the outsourcing. We've got to keep it in America.
And Scott, I'm hearing a ton of people beeping as they go by. You told me you guys have gotten food, water. Tell me about the support you've received here in Kokomo.
The entire community has been behind us since the jump. I mean, they just keep coming and keep giving. Our other local 685, 1166 from Chrysler, they've been out here picketing with us 24/7 since we started. So it's been an outstanding local support.
And as this strike continues, tell me how it impacts you directly.
We're all in this together. It's not just me out here. We're all one. We're united. We're strong. We're going to make it.
All right, thank you so much. And you can see there's about a dozen people out here this morning picketing. I'm told at the peak yesterday there was about 50 to 60 people, and along with the GM workers, they also have some people from the Chrysler plant out here supporting them as well. You can see there's a ton of food here. They've had that community support that we were talking about, and they tell me they are going to be out here as long as they need to get that fair deal with the company. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Alyssa, thank you. Time right now is 6:04, and IMPD IMPD officer is facing criminal charges after allegedly punching a student, and that officer is due in court on November the 1st. A cell phone video showed Officer Robert Lawson punching a teenager outside of Shortridge High School last month. He's charged with battery, obstruction of justice, perjury, false informing, and official misconduct. Investigators say that this video and witness statements directly contradict Officer Lawson's report.
There are a number of not only inaccuracies but false statements that relate to material facts, which is why we decided it was appropriate to file those additional charges against Officer Lawson. And we are hopeful that this sends a strong message to the community that we take these allegations very seriously, that these matters will be thoroughly investigated.
A statement from Indianapolis Public Schools says the superintendent and the board supports this decision. The district also says it's committed to providing a safe and secure learning environment for children. Well, we brought you the charges live on the RTV6 app around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. That's where you can also find some in-depth coverage of this story, including statements from IMPD and the attorney representing that teen's family. Again, that's on the RTV6 app.
Indiana's Attorney General says he will take part in the investigation of more than 2,000 fetal remains found in Illinois. The medically preserved remains were discovered at the home of a man known as one of Indiana's most prolific abortion doctors. Dr. Ulrich Klopfer died earlier this month. He ran abortion clinics in Fort Wayne, Gary, and South Bend. They all closed between 2013 and 2016. Right to Life leaders say they want justice for the people impacted by this devastating discovery.
To think of these children being preserved for whatever purposes is simply sickening. The discovery opens a flood of questions that simply must be answered. Why were these babies being preserved? When and where did these babies die? Did the mothers of these babies know their remains were going to be preserved?
Dr. Klopfer faced legal troubles while his clinics were still in operation. In 2012, he faced allegations of improper staffing and errors on state-mandated medical records. 2 years later, the Indiana Medical Licensing Board suspended his license for documentation errors and failing to exercise reasonable care.
Well, this morning, 98 people across central Indiana will wake up as American citizens for the very first time. The Indiana State Museum hosted a naturalization ceremony this morning, the final step to becoming a United States citizen. People representing 34 different countries took the oath of office, including Seydou Kone from Mali.
Feel good, pretty good. A lot of work, a lot of stress, a lot of things.
Well, Kone tells RTV6 that he looks forward to voting.
A new facility at Arsenal Technical High School will help train and guide the next generation of Indianapolis firefighters. On Monday, city, school, and department leaders cut the ribbon on a new training tower for the school's fire and rescue program. IFD Chief Ernest Malone says the tower is a valuable tool for the department and students.
We say we want the best and the brightest, and I think a lot of the best and the brightest are right here in this county and in this city. If we can let them know there's something here for them. So IFD wants kids like this to take a look at us before they move on, move from our great city or do something different.
Students in the IPS Fire and Rescue Program learn skills that are taught at the Indianapolis Fire Department's Training Academy. They earn college credits in the course. The program started in 2012. The joys of online shopping. You don't have to get off your couch. It's directly shipped to you. It is just wonderful. And it is dangerous. And if you Amazon Prime it, you can get it in 24 to 48 hours.
I know, so nice. But students through Area 31 Career Center, they're actually getting a chance to get ready for the supply chain industry. So all those goodies that you order, they're packed, ready to be sent right to your front door. And our Aaron Lish is joining us live this morning outside of the warehouse where this is all taking place. And Aaron, this is all part of a growing industry here in the state of Indiana.
Absolutely. I mean, Amazon, they are looking for more than 1,000 employees at their new packaging facility in Greenwood, and that's something that these students are noticing for future jobs. But for now, before they graduate, they are part of the Supply Chain Logistics Management Program. That is through Area 1 Career Center, and they're teamed up with Vincennes University, and they actually have a warehouse over in Plainfield. They come here, they learn how to pick, they find those orders, put them on the different pallets, and they just don't throw things in boxes. They learn how to properly pack them for shipping, and they actually enjoy doing that. But something they really like even more is training on those different machines like the forklifts. And then there's the other side, the managerial. So kids learn about team building, the ethics, and all of that critical thinking in this industry. They also get to talk with guest speakers from different companies, and they get to tour around those different companies in this industry. And really all of this is getting students we talk to excited for a career in this industry.
I really didn't know what I wanted to do in life, but after taking this class, it's really interesting to me, like learning how warehouses work and how supply chains and all that work. It's actually really interesting. It's way more than I expected.
So this gets them dual credits with VU and 4 industry credentials, including that one where they can use the forklift. Everything they learn sets them up for jobs like entry-level picking and packing, to becoming drivers, all the way to that managerial level. And at the end of the semester, students will get to meet with employers in this industry, and those instructors are telling us that those employers, they are chomping at the bit for those new employees in this industry. And we're going to actually talk to some of those students a little bit more on how this is impacting their future careers. Back to you in the studio.
Erin, thank you. Chances are the phone in your hand right now will only last you 5 years. Coming up, our John Matarese is breaking down why, so you don't waste your money.
And over here on the east side, traffic's moving along up to speed. I-70 and Post Road. Time right now is 6:11 on your Tuesday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Police in Tuscaloosa, Alabama say one of their officers has died after being injured in a shootout. Authorities say 40-year-old officer Dornell Cousette chased a wanted man inside of a home when the suspect opened fire on Cousette. The officer had been on the city's police force for 13 years. The suspect was also wounded in the shootout. Officer Cousette is the 4th Alabama police officer to be killed in the line of duty this year. An 18-year-old in Oklahoma is in jail this morning after reportedly threatening to open fire inside a high school she once attended.
Authorities say a co-worker told police that Alexis Wilson planned to, quote, shoot 400 people for fun at the school. When police interviewed Wilson at her home, they found an AK-47 and a 12-gauge shotgun. Police say Wilson told them it was a misunderstanding and she was just trying to teach her co-worker to not be afraid of guns.
The investigation into a deadly explosion at a center for people with disabilities continues this morning. The explosion near Portland, Maine killed 1 firefighter and injured 6 other people. Officials say they were checking out a complaint about a propane smell when the explosion happened. The explosion happened at the LEAP Center, which helps adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Sheriff's officials say the damage to the building is something they have never seen before.
You know, I spent a year in Iraq. It's about the closest I can explain it. It was just total devastation. I've never seen destruction like that in my career. I've been in law enforcement 35 years. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, except overseas.
Officials say their preliminary investigation shows the explosion was likely caused by a propane or natural gas leak.
At 6:15 this past August was the second hottest on record. That's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. The agency has been tracking global temperatures for about 140 years. It says that August was 1.66 degrees above the average over the last century. In fact, the 5 warmest Augusts have happened all since 2014. 2016 was the warmest August ever recorded. Time right now, though, is 6:16. As kids are heading out to the bus stop, people are heading to work. Todd, do they have any problems with the fog out there?
You know, there's some reduced visibility out there, but it's not terrible. But I just want to point it out for you just in case. Bloomington, it has quickly gone away. You were down to a half-mile visibility just a little while ago. Then it came up to 2 miles. Now it's up to 6. And then as you work your way up into portions of the Fishers area, Greenfield, over towards the Muncie area, again, the visibility is anytime you're above 1 mile, you're okay. But I just want to point out that it's going to be reduced just a little bit as you take to the roadways, but we're not expecting that dense fog to settle in. Overall, it's a dry and sunny pattern for us. Temperatures remain above normal for the foreseeable future, and we really need some rainfall here. Only 1/100th of an inch of rain has fallen so far at the airport in Indianapolis so far this year. So here's the fog, and you can see. So it's kind of out there a little bit, but it's hovering a little bit above the ground. It's not right at the surface. So that's why the visibility readings are coming in. But as you look up to the moon, you probably have to look through a little fog deck to see it here this morning. 63 degrees currently in Kokomo, as well as Bloomington. 62 in Muncie. 67 is the current temperature in Indy with clear skies across the area. The sun will burn that fog off very quickly once it comes up in just a little over 1 hour from now. Closest rain up in Minneapolis. That's where we find some storms, and that is just about it. So as we work our way throughout the day today, temperatures warm quickly this morning through the 70s into the mid-80s as we work our way into the afternoon hours. And then if you do have plans this evening, temperatures will fall from the 80s into the 70s. And then overnight tonight, it's actually not bad. We're cooling it off pretty quickly with a little bit of humidity around. Temperatures do fall back down into the 50s tomorrow morning in Lafayette as well as Peru. 62 in Indianapolis, about 60 in Columbus. So it's a pretty comfortable overnight period for us temperature-wise. And then for the day tomorrow, maybe a degree or two cooler, but plenty of sunshine throughout the entire day and light winds as well. And then looking ahead in this forecast as we get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, more of the same. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s and dry conditions with lots of sunshine. It's finally on Sunday that I think a cold front does come through, and that cold front will probably have some showers and storms around it. The problem is it's going to be running into a lot of dry air, but that is the best opportunity to pick up some rainfall. Some of those scattered showers could extend into Monday as well. And behind that front, temperatures do finally start to cool off. Monday's still probably around 80 degrees, but by Tuesday of next week, potentially high temperatures in the 70s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We have our live drive out on the roads this morning, keeping an eye on your morning commute. Shay Goodpaster, our photographer, is in the driver's seat, and this is a dash cam view. Right now, he's traveling southbound on Interstate 65, heading past the Southport Road exit towards County Line Road, heading down towards Greenwood, and everything is traveling just up to speed here on the south side. No problems for your commute. So let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map, planning out your drive. The drive time right now, heading southbound on I-65 from I-865 in the Dogleg to I-70 at the North Split. You can expect a 17-minute drive. No issues there for your commute. And then through Hamilton County on I-69, no delays from State Road 13 all the way down to I-465. It is a 13-minute drive.
The iPhone 11 will be available for pre-order later this week, but no matter how well you treat your new phone, you'll only get about 5 years out of it. John Matarese explains why, so you don't waste your money.
With the new iPhone 11 about to be released, you may be wondering, can I just keep my old iPhone as long as it still works? The answer may surprise you. If you're frugal like me, you like to keep phones forever, maybe replacing the battery after a couple of years. But a report in ZDNet.com says Apple's iPhone has a planned lifespan of only 5 years. That's right, unlike a fancy car that you can wax in garage, you can't keep that iPhone for 10 years except as a paperweight. ZDNet says Apple ends support for iPhones after 5 years. That means you will not be able to update an iPhone 5 or 6 to the newest iOS this fall. Without an iOS update, apps will slow down and will even stop working. Eventually, your phone will struggle to connect to the network and will become useless. Just ask anyone with an iPhone 4. So unlike a well-cared-for Lexus or Mercedes, after 5 years, your iPhone's done. So don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
For more money-saving tips and ideas, visit theindychannel.com. Click on money, then click Don't Waste Your Money.
Here at 6:20, a national publication says that a central Indiana city is one of the best places to live in the entire country. Money.com just listed Fishers as the third best place to live in the country. The website used economic health, cost of living, diversity, and amenities to compile this list. Clarksville, Tennessee, and Round Rock, Texas rounded out the top 3. Eagle Creek made the list at 32, and Fort Wayne came in at number 72.
Did you see the big Beyonce documentary here on RTV6 last night? Coming up on the Trending 6, some little ones who almost stole the show from their very famous mom. Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
That's right. These are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online today, and you'll want to know about them. Starting with this first one, astronomers have taken the first pictures of what's believed to be the second interstellar object known to visit our solar system. The new comet was first spotted by an amateur astronomer in Crimea last month, and this new picture was taken by the Gemini Observatory. NASA says this object appears to be a different shape than the object discovered leaving our solar system 2 years ago.
Find your adventure in dream, young Padawan. Close your eyes and reach out with your feelings. Feel the force surround you.
And cue tears from 4-year-old Meredith if Yoda were ever to call her home. Disney is back with its bedtime hotline. That's where you can dial a number, or I guess if that's who picked up on the other end. And you can get a bedtime story from your favorite Disney character. That includes Mickey, Minnie, or Yoda, since Disney owns the Star Wars brand now.
Well, Jeff Goldblum is so cool, he can do just about anything, including jazz. His debut jazz album, The Capitol Sessions, went to #1 on the charts. So, of course, he's coming back for more. The follow-up titled, I Shouldn't Be Telling You This, is due out in November.
So I have to tell you one thing. So this is the circle, and this Africa life. Circle of life.
It was supposed to be about Beyonce taking us behind the scenes of her album, The Gift. That was the companion to The Lion King. But last night's show here on RTV6 may have been stolen by Beyonce's kids. Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Sir Carter only got a little bit of screen time, but they made the most of it, and they are so darn cute.
So cute. Well, he returned to his old stomping grounds and dominated. Odell Beckham Jr. playing on his former home field started out with that one-handed catch in the first quarter for the Cleveland Browns, but in the third quarter, Beckham caught a quick pass and took it 89 yards for the touchdown. It's the longest reception of Beckham's career as the Browns beat the Jets 23-3.
That is how you do the people's elbow, according to our producers. But this is not a fight at a Cleveland Indians baseball game, and the fan tries to drop the elbow on 2 other fans. Unlike the Rocks matches, the elbow did not end that fight. It kept going until security got to them. We're now told those 3 fans have been charged with disorderly conduct, and I'm guessing maybe they are now banned from that ballpark.
I would say so. Not what you want when you're trying to watch a baseball game.
Yes, America's pastime. We don't need any of that.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Can't just watch a game and have fun. I mean,
right?
Goodness gracious. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with quiet conditions, a little bit of patchy fog, but that's going to burn off very, very quickly here throughout the course of the morning hours. We'll warm to about 81 by the noon hour, so we do warm quick with that sunshine. And then eventually high temperatures this afternoon will be topping off in the mid to upper 80s across the area. So the humidity's up a little bit, but it's not terrible. But get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Time now is 6:27. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30, for a second day straight, GM workers are off the job here in central Indiana and across the country. What they're demanding and the impact this strike will have on other businesses here in our state.
And getting students a jump start into their future careers. Just ahead in our Classroom to Career series, how one local program is teaching kids all about managing a supply chain.
And this morning, the U.S. Secretary of Education is set to meet with students in Indianapolis. What she is set to talk about as she travels across the country. 6:30 on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for kicking off the day with us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us this morning, bringing us more of that summer-like weather.
Yeah, you know, it's been a nice stretch here in September with dry conditions, which have been great for outdoor plans, but we really could use a little bit of rainfall here. That is not going to happen, though, for the next couple days. In fact, it's not until Sunday that we probably bring some rain chances into this forecast. So grab the sunglasses. You will need them a.m. this morning. You do not need the jacket. Temperatures right now are in the 60s. A little bit of patchy fog in spots here across the area, so just be aware that it's out there. And you can kind of see it trying to settle in a little bit here across downtown Indianapolis, but you could easily see the traffic on the roadways and the lights through that fog. And the sun now that's going to start to brighten the sky, and eventually sunrise officially just about an hour from now will burn any fog off very, very quickly. Any clouds that are out there to the north, that'll burn off quick as well. So this morning, skies become mostly sunny very, very quickly. With that sunshine, temperatures warm quickly as well. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s as we get into the noon hour. We'll talk about the rest of your day coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a live look right now from our live drive vehicle. Shay Goodpaster behind the wheel, and this is a dash cam view. Right now, he's on northbound I-465, heading along to the east side of town. Traffic in this area is moving along up to speed. The opposite side of the interstate, that is part of the area that is closed for that construction project set to wrap up Saturday. Right now, no crashes around the metro area. Great news for your Tuesday morning commute.
It is the best feeling when a package arrives at your door that you've been waiting to get your hands on. But how does it get from you clicking the confirm button to the shipping truck?
Well, our Erin Lish is outside of Vincennes University Logistics Center, and she joins us live this morning with more on the supply chain program through Area 31 Career Center. Now, Erin, we know there is a big need for more people in this industry as that online shopping ramps up, and now students are hoping to hop on board this as a career path.
Absolutely. I know that Amazon, they're hoping to add thousands of new employees over at their packing center in Greenwood. And then Hoosier Logistics also saying that they're going to add new jobs in this industry. And students, they're taking notice and hoping to fill those roles.
And so what type of material would be first expired, first out?
Instructors break down critical components of supply chain logistic management before they head to the warehouse.
Therefore, we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to get the best product at the best price.
Where students like Jeremiah Park are learning the skills needed to succeed in this industry.
Pack boxes, picking, receiving, proper way to load.
They gained dual credit from Vincennes University and 4 industry credentials, which caught Bryce Kern's attention.
You make a lot more money if you have certifications like your forklift license and stuff. So it just kind of made sense that I can get this before I even leave high school, before I even get in the workforce.
Senior Michael Wilcox says this program is a big eye-opener.
We go around, we take tours of different facilities. It allows me to connect to what the real world is.
There are thousands of job openings in this industry here in Indiana, according to those in logistics.
And there's more and more employers coming to the area. There's more and more people purchasing stuff online. There's more and more need for faster, cheaper, more direct shipping routes.
And as the industry is growing, so is students' curiosity in this becoming their future careers.
It's actually really interesting. It's way more than I expected.
So students from One Career Center, they will actually meet with employers at the end of the semester in hopes to get that job after graduation. And if you are one of those people who didn't get this type of opportunity in high school, well, Vincennes University says that you can actually do this program as well. So you do have that opportunity if you didn't get that chance when you were still in school. Back to you in the studio.
Erin, thank you so much. Well, if you are looking to learn a little bit more about these career programs or any other job opportunities right here in Central Indiana, our Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page is a big help to you. That's where you can find posts from prospective companies who are looking for new employees, and as also all of our other Hiring Hoosiers stories that you see on the show. It's just a click away for you right now on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. And our Hiring Hoosiers Classroom to Career Initiative, it continues all week right here on Good Morning Indiana. And here's a preview of some of the stories and the schools that we'll be featuring this week. Be sure to join us right here all week long on Good Morning Indiana from 4:30 to 7.
Today is day 2 of the nationwide strike against General Motors. Nearly 50,000 workers walked off the job at midnight Sunday, and that includes thousands of workers here in Indiana. Our Alyssa Donovan is live outside the GM component plant in Kokomo. Alyssa, you have been talking to the employees behind you all morning long. What do they have to say?
Yes, I have, and they have some strong opinions on what's going on. Of course, they can't talk too much about the details, but you can see we have about a dozen people here this morning, and they tell me they have been out here, some of them for hours, and there have been people picketing 24/7 since midnight on Sunday. I'm here with Greg Wolford. You are the shop chair. Tell me a little bit about what is going on, as much as you can.
Well, right now we're just, the thing of it is, the reason we went on strike is because we felt that we had an unfair contract with GM, and we're just asking them to come to the table and be fair about it.
And you mentioned that there's been a lot of support here in Kokomo.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's just been overwhelming with the support that we've had from the community and the different locals and all the different people that's brought stuff out. We've got a tremendous supply of water and food, and it's really overwhelming, all the stuff that everybody's brought out, and we really do thank them for it.
And we were talking earlier, your workers are going to be down to $250 a week. Talk to me just about how much of a hit that is. I know that sounds like a hit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, if anybody just stop and think about it, that, if you take your salary and just cut it down to a third, and you're still expected to pay for your bills and all the stuff that goes on with everyday life. So it's kind of hard.
So I guess, what is the hope today?
The hope today is that, our negotiating team and GM sit back down the table and get a fair contract, and let's go back to work.
All right, I hope it happens.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, thanks for talking to me this morning. Again, that's Greg Wolford. He is the shop chair here, and you can see we have a ton of people out here supporting. We've heard those cars going by all morning long, beeping for their support. So there's a lot going on here, and of course, we're going to stay on top of this story as it unfolds. For now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Alyssa, thank you. Police have arrested a 15-year-old boy in connection to a shooting near Purdue University. The shooting happened Sunday at the Hub apartment building, leaving 2 people hurt. Their conditions are unknown at this time. The teen was taken to the Tippecanoe County Juvenile Detention Center on multiple preliminary charges, including battery with a deadly weapon.
At 6:37, an 18-year-old is under arrest, accused of stealing cars and other items in 2 Greenfield neighborhoods. Carl Mays Jr. is facing charges for auto theft and theft. Officers say they found 3 of 4 stolen vehicles near West Washington Street and Belmont Avenue on Indianapolis's west side. The vehicles were taken from Liberty Shores neighborhood and the Chapman Estates neighborhood in Greenfield this month. Surveillance video captured several suspects, and police are still trying to find others who may have been involved. Meanwhile, in Fortville, police are warning residents there to lock their vehicle doors and take all their valuables inside. In a Facebook post, the department says there were numerous reports of car break-ins on Sunday night. The post asks any residents to report any suspicious activity that they might notice as it's happening.
This morning, the 2 people charged with burning an American flag in Fishers on the 4th of July will be back in a courtroom. The case has caught the attention of the ACLU. 18-year-old George Drake and Christopher Graham are each facing 4 felony counts of arson, along with misdemeanors for criminal mischief and flag desecration. They're accused of burning the American flag displayed at the Nickel Plate District Amphitheater on July 4th. The ACLU is asking for the flag desecration charges to be dropped. A trial for the pair is set for October 14th.
At 6:39, neighborhood noise complaints and growing pains in Fountain Square are causing some loud evenings and noisy mornings for some of the residents there. And it's thanks to a number of construction projects happening in the area. Barbara Janiak says her once quiet Fountain Square neighborhood is now home to unwanted noise as construction crews build new homes up and down her street. She says the loud noises usually come to a rest around 10 o'clock at night, and that the quiet lasts until 7 this morning when the city's noise ordinance kicks in. Now, every bang, boom, and pop has her wanting the city to start that noise ordinance much earlier in the day.
Growth has become perpetual construction activities for greater than the past few years, to be honest. And lately, it's just reached an escalation point in terms of noise and the heavy construction vehicles that are coming up and down the streets and alleyways at all hours of the day, and there doesn't seem to be any end.
RTV6 took her concerns to City Councilor Zach Adamson, who says since construction crews did not appear to be breaking any laws or rules, the best thing to do is just to have a conversation with the crews.
United States Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos will meet with students in Indianapolis today. She'll visit Purdue Polytechnic High School, in downtown Indy to discuss the importance of STEM programs in education. Indianapolis is the second stop on her 2019 back-to-school tour, which kicked off yesterday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At 6:40, the Indiana Department of Transportation is holding a statewide hiring fair today as they look to fill 100 jobs. In Indianapolis, the fair will be held on the east side at their location on Brookville Road. It runs from 10 to 3 this afternoon. They are looking to fill both seasonal and full-time positions. If you would like to apply at the fair, you're asked to bring proof of a commercial driver's license and a high school diploma or GED. Todd, you've not only got a pocket full of sunshine, but you also have a pocket full of dog treats right now.
I do. We're walking the dog here, and we are passing out treats, and it's been a good walking forecast the past 2 days. This is Spike. Guess how old Spike is?
Tough guy.
Guess how old he is?
17.
21 years old. 21
Spike.
years old Spike is.
We'll see you at the pub tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And Jamie's had him ever since he was born there in Gosport. So if you see Jamie with Spike there in Gosport, make sure you stop and say hello and give him one of those treats. All right, green pause for your walking forecast straight across the board here. Temperatures this morning starting in the 60s, climbing up into the 80s. And if you'd like to have your dog featured here, you can send them to my Facebook page, Todd Clausen RTV6. I got a bunch in the queue, but we'll get to them eventually. I try to send you a message before I put them there, but make sure you also include their name and where you're from so we can feature that as well. As far as the next few days, it's going to be dry. It's not until Sunday that we start to bring in the chance of some rain as a cold front approaches, and it's that cold front that's kind of breaking the weather pattern that we're stuck in here just a little bit. More on that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. President Trump is taking a more cautious approach with Iran this morning. What he's now saying about the attack on a Saudi oil complex and the impact it will have on gas prices here in the U.S.
And how soon could the troubled Boeing MAX planes be back up in the air? The test set for the coming days as the FAA weighs when to approve the safety changes. Time right now is 6:42 on your Tuesday. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The president is being more cautious with his language this morning after blaming Iran for the attack on the world's largest oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. Following the attack, President Trump responded that the U.S. was, quote, locked and loaded. Well, now he's choosing more cautious wording when asked about his message for Iran.
I think I'll have a stronger message or maybe no message at all when we get the final results of what we're looking at. But right now it's too soon to say.
Well, the president said it does look like Iran is responsible for this attack, but the evidence was not yet definitive. A senior U.S. official tells ABC News both a drone and a cruise missile used in the strike have been found mostly intact, which could provide some stronger confirmation as to who's responsible. Saudi officials say that the investigation is still ongoing, but the initial information shows that the weapons are Iranian. Iran continues to deny any involvement in this oil facility attack. We're already seeing a rise in gas prices as a result of those oil attacks. The oil prices rose above $60 a barrel, and experts say we'll see a rise of 10 to 25 cents per gallon at the pump. The U.S. is becoming less dependent on Saudi Arabian oil. In the first half of the year, the U.S. imported less than half the amount each day from Saudi Arabia than it did just 2 years ago.
This morning, Boeing is hoping their grounded 737 MAX airplanes are closer than ever to taking flight once again. The head of the FAA, Stephen Dickson, says he plans to personally go into a flight simulator and test changes that Boeing is making to the planes. Boeing is expected to submit its safety analysis of the changes to the plane in the coming days. Dickson will be the one who will decide when the troubled planes can fly again. The FAA grounded the MAX planes back in March after the second of 2 crashes that killed a total of 346 people. Boeing hopes the planes will be back in service as early as next month.
Here at 6:47, vaping has led to the death of the 7th person in the United States, and now the CDC has activated its Emergency Operations Center in response. The center will aim to improve the response to the e-cigarette health threat. Lung disease cases have been linked to vaping in 36 states. Several U.S. senators are also calling for action, demanding that online marketplaces like eBay and Craigslist stop selling the vaping products to teenagers. The most recent death is the second one that was reported in California.
A wildfire in Colorado continues to burn after a truck fire spread on Sunday. The McNay fire has burned 542 acres. Fire crews are using helicopters and ground crews to put out the fire. So far, it's 77% contained, and voluntary evacuations have been lifted. There have been no reports of injuries or damaged buildings.
Well, the cleanup process continues this morning out in South Dakota after a powerful tornado slammed the state last week. An EF2 tornado struck Sioux Falls, bringing down trees and power lines along with damaging homes and businesses. This morning, we are learning more about the brave actions of hospital workers after the storm tore through that building. They rushed patients into the hallways along with bathrooms to protect them from the debris. Everyone survived that severe weather thanks to their quick actions. And back here at home, we really haven't had to talk about severe weather or any rain for a while now.
No, we've been very lucky, Todd.
Yeah, you know, there was that one batch of rain Sunday morning that brought a few showers to northern parts of central Indiana. As soon as it got to Indianapolis, it faded away. And so officially, it's hard to believe this month we've only had 1/100th of an inch of rain officially at the airport, and that's put us now 1.64 inches below where we should be. So it's been a dry September and probably no rain in this forecast at least until Sunday. That's when a cold front is going to arrive and bring us our best chance of seeing some showers, and that cold front will also kind of change our weather pattern a little bit from these upper 80s and sunny days that we've been dealing with. So as far as fog goes, visibility is reduced a little bit here up towards the Muncie area, over into the Greenfield area and points to the north. Not as much of an issue down to the south. So just know that there is some patchy fog out there, but it's not a huge deal. And this is going to be a beautiful shot here over the next half hour. You can see several things. You can see the clear sky. So once the sun does get up above the horizon, it's going to burn this haze and fog that you see here off. So the fog not quite down to the ground, because that's essentially what the fog is, right? A cloud on the ground. But you can see through it here in downtown Indianapolis, obviously, with the lights. So it's a very thin layer of fog if you are seeing, and it'll be gone lickety split once that sun comes up. 67 in Indy, 63 in Bloomington, 64 is the current temperature right now in Muncie. We have a little bit of a breeze out of there, out of the north-northeast, and generally when we have a northeasterly wind, that kind of keeps our temperatures down and the humidity down just a little bit. But it's so dry out there that we're able to warm our temperatures very, very quickly to kind of counteract to that northeasterly wind, because we had it yesterday and our high temperature got all the way up to 89 degrees. 63 in Greencastle right now. 62 is the current temperature over in Richmond. And skies, as you saw there on our tower camera shot, partly cloudy to the north, mainly clear as you work your way down to the south. The only rain we have is way back off to our west, and that is not going to impact us. So we warm quickly once the sun comes up. Should be right around 80 degrees in almost all locations throughout the course of the noon hour, and then temperatures will be climbing into the low to mid 80s later on this afternoon before we cool back into the 70s this evening. Tomorrow's a day very similar to today, starting off in the low 60s, warming into the mid to upper 80s, and then we're just going to kind of carry that weather pattern over throughout the remainder of the week. Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny, right around 88. Saturday, I pushed the showers back into Sunday, so Saturday at this point looks dry, 86, and then on Sunday, that's when the cold front comes through, so that's our best opportunity for some scattered showers, and following that, cooler temperatures. Monday, right around 80, then probably in the 70s by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on your morning drive from our own Shea Goodpaster. Right now, he's driving westbound on I-70. This is near Keystone Avenue over on the east side. Looks like traffic is slowing down. You can see some tail lights that way, so just give yourself a few extra minutes if you're heading into town from the east side. A reminder, this is part of that detour route for the closure of 465, so it tends to get a little bit heavier as we approach the rush hour. Well, the Indianapolis Colts sticking by their man this morning. The words of confidence from the coaching staff after Adam Vinatieri's rough start to the season. We'll be right back.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
This morning, the Indianapolis Colts are standing behind their future Hall of Fame kicker. The team is rallying behind Adam Vinatieri after his rough start to the season. Colts head coach Frank Reich made things clear during a press conference on Monday. He said that, quote, Adam is our kicker. He also talked about how instrumental he is as a leader for the team. To start the season, Vinatieri has missed 3 extra points and 2 field goals. The Colts are back in action this Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons.
At 6:54 last Last week on Good Morning Indiana, we showed you the fashion statement that Browns wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. made during his season debut. Well, during the game, he sported this Richard Mille watch worth about $350,000. Well, he was back at it last night during Monday Night Football. Before the game, OBJ was wearing this clear Richard Mille watch, and this week's watch made the other one look cheap. This one is worth about $2.2 million. Beckham only wore it during warm-ups, though, not during the actual game.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
The future starts tonight for the Indiana Fever as they look to improve on this past season's disappointment. The WNBA draft lottery is set for tonight, and the Fever have the second best odds to grab the first pick. That would be instrumental in helping the Fever rebuild after missing the playoffs for the third season in a row. The Fever have a 26.7% chance of winning the first draft lottery tonight. You can watch it live on ESPN2.
Well, the 28th season of Dancing with the Stars is now underway after an exciting night on the ballroom right here on RTV6.
There were plenty of highlights that the internet is talking about this morning. Sean Spicer is trending this morning after he sported this outfit during his debut salsa dance last night. Ay caramba.
Yeah.
Spicer's dance earned him just 12 points, but it wasn't the worst performance of the night.
Yeah, Lamar Odom failed to impress the judges, earning just 11 points with his foxtrot. Actor James Vanderbeek and Hannah from The Bachelorette impressed the judges the most.
And unfortunately, we are all asleep when Dancing with the Stars is on, so we need to, check in on the DVR and check out all those dances.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Want to bring in Todd right now. Talk about our forecast for today. Another hot one.
Yeah, you know, more of the same. I hate to say it, but it's just the case that we're dealing with lots of sunshine, temperatures quickly warming into the mid to upper 80s later on this afternoon, and then eventually by 6 p.m. down to 81. So we warm it up pretty quick, but with these dry conditions we have out there, we can cool it off rather quick as well. Skies today will be mostly sunny and then turning partly cloudy this afternoon. More of the same for Wednesday, Thursday, sun until Sunday. That some changes occur as we bring some showers and storms into the forecast.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout GMA with local news, weather, and those traffic updates.
We hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thanks for watching.